morning. I'm Hassan Giordano, and this is your DMV Daily Dose for Wednesday, March the 11th, 2020.
It's currently clear and 48 degrees in Baltimore. Expect mostly cloudy skies starting in the morning. Today's high will be 53 degrees, and the low will be 44.
Well, the longtime linchpin of the Ravens offensive line will announce his retirement on Wednesday, ending a Hall of Fame career after 13 NFL seasons in Baltimore. Guard Marshall Yanda, 35 years old, was honored as an All-Pro selection 7 times and named to the Pro Bowl 8 times, the most among active guards. With an unmatched work ethic, commitment to technique, and legendary toughness, Yanda evolved from a third-round draft pick into one of the NFL's most respected and dominant players. The AP is reporting on Joe Biden, who decisively won Michigan's Democratic presidential primary on Tuesday, seizing a key battleground state that helped propel Bernie Sanders' insurgent candidacy just 4 years ago. The former vice president's victory in Michigan, as well as in Missouri, Mississippi, and Idaho, dealt a serious blow to Sanders and has substantially widened Biden's path to the nomination. Biden again showed strength with working-class voters and African Americans who are vital to winning the Democratic nomination. Sanders' narrow hopes for good news rested on North Dakota and Washington state. Washington's primary was too early to call, and because all voters there are cast by mail or by dropping them off in the ballot box, many ballots were marked for candidates who have since dropped out of the race. The 6-state contest marked the first time voters weighed in on the primary since it effectively narrowed to a 2-person race between Sanders and Biden. And the first 4 states on Tuesday went to Biden, a dramatic reversal from a campaign that appeared on the brink of collapse just 2 weeks ago. Now it is Sanders, whose candidacy was ascent to so recently, who must now contemplate his path forward. Addressing supporters in Philadelphia, Biden noted that many had declared that his candidacy was dead only days ago, but now we're very much alive. He also asked Sanders supporters to back him going forward. But even as the counters of the race came into shape, new uncertainty was sparked by fears of the spreading coronavirus. Both candidates abruptly canceled rallies in Ohio that were scheduled for Tuesday night. That set the stage for Biden's remarks in Philadelphia, while Sanders flew home to Vermont and didn't plan the public. Sanders' campaign also said all future events would be decided on a case-by-case basis, given public health concerns, while Biden called off a scheduled upcoming Florida stop. Still, the former vice president said Tuesday night that he'd be announcing plans to combat the coronavirus later this week. The Democratic National Committee also said that Sunday's debate between Sanders and Biden would be conducted without an audience. Now, speaking of the coronavirus, the Baltimore Sun is reporting that 3 more Marylanders who took Nile River cruises recently tested positive for the novel coronavirus Tuesday, bringing the state's total case count now to 9 people. They now include a woman in her 60s from Montgomery County and a couple in their 50s from Prince George's County. The 3 were among a group of 6 state residents that health officials reached out to because they took cruises on the same ship that was tied to Maryland's first 3 cases of COVID-19, otherwise known as the coronavirus. That brings the state's county-by-county totals to 5 in Montgomery County, 3 in Prince George's County, and 1 in Harford County. To prevent further spread of the virus, Governor Larry Hogan said Tuesday that the state is recommending nursing homes and retirement communities take further precautions to protect residents and is asking students at University System of Maryland institutions to prepare to stay home 2 weeks or more beyond their upcoming spring break. The University of Maryland Medical System said Tuesday that visitors to its 13 hospitals and other healthcare facilities will be screened and limited in an effort to keep the virus at bay. The outbreak already is affecting workplaces, too. As a precaution, after one employee at the state attorney general's central office in Baltimore fell ill recently, the staff were asked to work from home. Now, the Baltimore Brew's Ian Round is reporting that the Baltimore City Council advanced 3 charter amendment bills continuing its campaign to undermine the strong mayoral system. But in an attempt to slow the progress of these bills down, Councilman Robert Stokes introduced an emergency resolution at the request of Mayor Bernard C. Jack Young. Stokes' resolution seeks to create another commission to deliberate on the charter amendments. The resolution's supporters say that the Equity and Structure Committee, which Council President Brandon Scott created and which Councilman Bill Henry chairs, has not listened to the community enough. 13 charter amendment bills are making their way through readings and committee hearings as the council attempts to pass them before the August deadline to add them to this November's ballot. The Young administration has said that some of them contradict each other, and a few organizations and some council members are calling for a slower process. The mayor would nominate commission members and the council would confirm them. The commission would submit a report by June 1st. There will be one from each council district and several from agencies under the mayor. Stokes, the mayor's closest ally on the council, chairs the appointments committee. Now, Councilman Christopher Burnett from the 8th District took issue with the number of people working for the mayor that would be on this proposed commission. A fifth of the members would be from the executive branch. Quote, "I question the level of appropriateness of this," Bernard said. "The parallel process," he said, "would duplicate efforts and create confusion. To me, it sounds like the fox guarding the hen house." Interesting. The Maryland Matters reporter Hannah Gaskell really breaks down the bribery scheme behind the downfall of one of Baltimore legislators, former state delegates Cheryl Glenn, and another Baltimore businessman, Lance Lucas, who both pled guilty in federal court on charges that could land both of them behind federal bars. Lucas pleaded guilty Monday on charges surrounding the bribery of former delegate Glenn, confessing publicly to paying the ex-lawmaker $42,500 for the benefit of his businesses. Lucas's guilty plea is an extraordinary window into the activities of Glenn, a prominent lawmaker who had been a leader of the Legislative Black Caucus and chair of the Baltimore City House delegation. Glenn pleaded guilty to charges of wire fraud and bribery in January after resigning her seat in the Maryland General Assembly just weeks before. Lucas's misdeeds surround the medical cannabis business licensure application process held by the Natalie M. LaPrade Maryland Medical Cannabis Commission, which Glenn, a champion of medical cannabis legislation, helped to create and which was named after her mother. Lucas was affiliated with two medical marijuana businesses. He paid Glenn in an effort to ensure that they would obtain state licenses. Lucas's charges are also linked to the revision of a 2018 piece of legislation in Annapolis, House Bill 1819, which established a cyber warrior diversity program, which allots $2.5 million for the state's HBCUs to teach students cybersecurity and computer networking skills. Well, according to the documents released Monday by the U.S. Attorney's Office, one of the businesses Lucas is affiliated with created this program curriculum for retail at universities. For more detailed information on the payoffs and what actually transpired, make sure you go to MarylandMatters.org. I'm your man, Mr. Politics, and this has been your DMV Daily Dose for Wednesday, March 11th, 2020. For more information on the articles I've mentioned, just go on over to their website at www.dmvdaily.news.